Today we take a look at the LEGO Star Wars Mandalorian Battle Pack with 4 exclusive LEGO Mandalorian figures. Taking a look at the front of the box, you'll see all 4 of our Mandalorian minifigures. And yes, these are all exclusive to this set. So if you want those figures, you gotta pay the $15 for this kit. And in my opinion, $15 seems pretty fair for a little speeder, 4 exclusive figures, and a little rock side build. Now, you can see everything I just said inside of this picture if you're wondering what those look like. We also have our set information as well as our Star Wars box art. Turning it around, you'll see everything you saw on the front as well as our action feature, which is to shoot our stud shooters. And they are called stud shooters, so I really hope we can shoot them. Let's get into the box. To get into the box, LEGO gives us these thumb tabs. Now, for those of you that don't know how they work, you take, obviously, your thumb, and you just put your thumb through there, and then peel it open. Now, what I like to do to try to not ruin the box as much is kind of peel this over the top of these little tabs, and just kind of get this so I don't rip off these tabs. However, if you simply don't care and you're just buying this for the set and pure enjoyment of the set, as I'm sure many of you will if you do get this set, then you probably don't care about that. Now, getting into the box, we have a single bag of parts. Oh, no, I was wrong. There is another bag of parts. A little bag of a bunch of Mandalorian accessories. Our instruction manual, and that'll do it. No sticker sheet. Let's get into the build. Now, you guys notice that we aren't doing a time lapse as we normally do, and if you do like to watch LEGO time lapses, then you can check out any of our other videos for those time lapses. We have them all the time. However, this time this kit is so small that I thought I would change it up a bit and do this kind of live build type thing. So I love how all of the pieces just shoot out. That happens with every LEGO set. And it's just kind of fun trying to get them all back together. And studs are definitely very good at rolling away. Opening this one up, we've got yet more pieces, as well as a little box. I guess this little box is full of a bunch of capes for all of our Mandalorians. You can see we do have 4. 2 are brown, 1 is black, and 1 is green. Looking very nice. They're kind of the stiffer of the LEGO materials, but they're kind of scruffy on one side and soft on the other. That's kind of cool. Never really noticed that. Now, building our figures. And this guy gets a brown cape. And then all of them just have a normal black head, because obviously we don't know what their faces look like, and I think the normal black head is a very good way to just kind of do that. Now, next figure. This guy gets a green cape. Another black head. Oh, fold his legs. Then we can put on his blue helmet. That guy looking very spiffy as well. Then next figure, we'll do this tan looking one. And then this guy gets the black cape. I really like these Mandalorian cape pieces that LEGO does because they're skinnier than the normal capes, and I think if they did the normal capes that LEGO has, then it would just kind of look a little awkward because the Mandalorians in Star Wars have a much thinner cape, much like what you see here. There's our third Mandalorian. On to the last one, who seems to be mostly brown. Interesting. Obviously he gets a brown cape. And a brown helmet. Actually, that's kind of a caramel color. That's kind of cool. And then that's our Mandalorians. And I'll build their guns later on. Then our speeder, starting off with this piece. There's our little kind of hull of the speeder, nice and shaped like that. Looks really nice. And then for the engine, or what I assume is the engine, just plug together some of these pieces. And then one of these. Put that on the back. So then you can kind of see where this speeder is going to go. This would be the engine, so it would be going that way. Looking pretty cool so far. Now, normally, for those of you that don't know, for my figure animations that I normally have in my time-lapse builds, I would kind of move the figures once every 5 seconds, because the time-lapse works by taking a picture every 5 seconds, and then that's how it looks like it's all sped up. It's really just a bunch of pictures stitched together and making a really cool fast video. So to animate my figures, I would normally kind of grab them and move them gradually like that, and then again after another 5 seconds like that, and the camera normally beeps to give me a clue when to do that. And over the course of however long it takes me to build a kit, we normally come out with a really cool animation. And if you guys want to see some of those animations, you can check out any of my other videos on the channel. They all have them. Speeder's starting to take shape, looking pretty cool. And I already did that for that side on autopilot. Next we're putting on our fins. And the way LEGO has done this, we have this 1x2 piece with the bars on the end, and then that allows us to just clip on our fins and then angle them down, and they actually get stopped so that they are always at the perfect angle. Next up, our little guns, our stud shooters, with the anti-studs on the bottom of them so you can attach them to whatever you'd like. And then that goes on that side, and then the other side is actually a dark gray instead of the light gray, so we can just put that on like that. And that's one thing I really like about this little speeder build, is it actually has different colors on different sides. So this side you can see has light gray and then dark gray here, and then this side has the tan and then the light gray here. And that just kind of makes it look like it's old, a little bit run down, kind of like the Mandalorians are in the Mandalorian TV show, where this is from. If I actually put that on wrong, gotta take that off. There we go. And then this just goes at the front. Again, you can just push those back when they get knocked over, and it's really nice to not have to really look at them and get them just perfect. They kind of get themselves perfect automatically. And this piece goes right on the front, and then we have a jumper plate. And then another jumper plate with a light. That kind of gives it the headlight. Looks really cool. And then flip it. Now we get an upside down cheese slope that will meet up with another piece later on. I can tell that because the front of the box shows it, and that's gonna look cool. Right now we're just doing the handlebars, which are somewhere right here. And then next step, yeah, there's that piece that kind of meets up with that other piece there, and that looks pretty nice. And that'll do it for the speeder. Looking very nice. There are 25 steps if you count putting studs in the stud shooter's step. If not, then there's 24 steps in building this speeder. Looks pretty cool. Let's go on to our little rocky side build. Starting off our little brick side build, we got this little plate. And we just put on this nice clipped piece, right like that. And then this piece goes right behind it. And this is all kind of just random pieces kind of going together to make it look a little more unplanned, like they're kind of fighting out of a crater. It just so happens to be there, not that they built a really weird, messed up structure to fight out of. So far it's looking pretty cool. There's only a few pieces, but pretty excited. You can see some of the randomness of the rocks there. And then we've got another brown slope. Then we've got one of these log looking pieces and a brown jumper plate. And then a really tall gray piece. The little cheese slope there, and then another little log piece right in front of that. And then a bunch of little cheese slopes to really make it look random. And then we'll move these guys so you can get a better look at this. And this is gonna go right there. And then this one goes right under it. It's kind of hard to see the instructions because everything is dark gray and brown. But this does go right there. And then we can put our figures wherever we want and customize them with all our bits, and we'll take a look at them right now in the first look. Taking a first look at everything, I just really like how it all looks. It's got a very good kind of rundown Mandalorian aesthetic, just as the actual Mandalorian TV show, which this is based off of. And for those of you who have seen the TV show, this is based off of the part where the main Mandalorian character, which the show is based off of, is kind of trying to take the baby Yoda, or the child, and all of the bounty hunters are trying to stop him, along with Grief Karga, and then the Mandalorians all come to the rescue to help Din Djarin, aka the main Mandalorian, escape with Baby Yoda. So these are all of the other Mandalorians, and they look really cool, and in the TV show, they do live in a sewer, so it's kind of cool that the speeder is kind of run down, and the little like the base here is just kind of a built up crater, and it all looks really cool in my opinion. Now, taking a look at that speeder, you kind of saw it in the build. However, taking a closer look, you can see the headlight looks very nice. Again, those fins are very nice with their kind of rigid position. We've got our two stud shooters. The stud shooters, you just kind of press this gray button that you do have to clip in separate from the black piece, and put my hand here so it doesn't get lost forever, and that shoots off and bounces off my hand and goes away. Now that is just how the other ones work, and there it is. And that is just how the Lego character stud shooters work as well. So all of them, you just push that gray button and it'll shoot right away. Now, taking off the character from the speeder, you can see that our little cockpit consists of some handlebars, and that's it. However, I still think it looks really nice, and for a battle pack vehicle, I really like this. Now, it's got some nice vent details, and again, with that mismatching coloring, I really like it. It makes it look kind of run down, and I really just like the aesthetics of this whole kit. You can see the little engine bit there and some bars coming off of these kind of slanted pieces, just looking really good, and overall this speeder looks pretty complete, and I really like this inclusion to the set. Now, putting that to the side, we can take a look at this little rock area, and again, this is just very rough, kind of jumbled together pieces that actually looks like maybe something blew up right where this Mandalorian is standing, and this is the crater where they've kind of mounted their gun. And yes, the character is separate from the gun in this case, and then you can just put them off to the side, and the gun just kind of plugs into this jumper plate. And it is a stud shooter, so you just push that gray button and it'll shoot right away. Now, we do get a little clip for any other accessories that you want to put in there. This set does not include such accessories other than maybe another gun. And again, there's that jumper plate in there. Looks really nice and just random rock pieces, and I like that inclusion. Now, the extra parts are very plentiful. There are definitely a lot of extra parts in this set, especially for just a little $15 battle pack. Now, you have plenty of replacement studs for your stud shooters, and you actually get 8 of those, and looks really awesome because you can kind of have that for all your stud shooters. You also get these 2 pieces, and these are all actual, well, those are all actual extra pieces, so if you lose any of them, LEGO gives us these so that you can replace it without having to have previous parts. These are all Mandalorian accessories. Now you'll notice that these 2 Mandalorians have little antenna pieces hanging off the sides of their helmets, whereas these 2 actually do not. Now, we do actually get those extra antenna pieces here and here, and you'll notice these little holes in the sides of the helmets. You just kind of take these little antenna pieces and plug them into there, and when you find the hole, you just kind of put it in there, and then that looks really cool. Now, they actually give us these pieces, and according to the instructions, none of the Mandalorians actually get these visors. However, I think that's just kind of part of the parts bag that those little antennas come in. So here we have a Mandalorian with the visor on, and we do actually get 4 of those little visors, 1 for each of the Mandalorians, and unfortunately you cannot have the little antenna piece as well as the visor, only the visor. Or I suppose you could put on 2 antenna pieces if that's what you wanted to do. However, I think it's really nice that LEGO has gone ahead and given us those extra pieces so you can kind of customize all of these unnamed Mandalorians to be your own. Now, taking a look at this guy with the visor, I'm just going to go ahead and take that off because that's how they have it on the box. And he looks very nice. His whole front print in general just looks really good, and I like the kind of purple paint splatter on the blue helmet, and I just really like this figure as a whole. We've got some of that silver detailing on the front of his helmet, and you can see when we take his helmet off, he does just have the black head because we don't really know what Mandalorian's faces look like until we see Din Djarin's face towards the end of Season 1 of The Mandalorian. Then moving around to the back, you'll notice the green cape. Now, 2 of them have different capes. One has green, one has black, and the other 2 just have a brown cape. And flipping it up, you'll see the back of his armor looking very nice, and I really like this gray and blue Mandalorian. Next up, we have this kind of grayish blue and orange Mandalorian, and he looks really cool as well. I really like this figure. This one actually does, the instructions tell you to put the antenna on there, so that's what I've done. Looks really nice. Again, he comes with a stud shooter, and you just push that gray button for it to work. And another very nice high quality front print. LEGO always does a great job with these figures. And again, when you flip his cape up, you can see that he actually has the back of his armor as well. Now for the brown Mandalorian, you can see that he only has the top of the front printing, as opposed to the rest of the Mandalorians actually having the full front print, looking really nice. However, this one still looks very nice as well, because we do get the front of his chest armor. Now we also get a very nice top print or face print for the helmet, and that one's actually maybe a little more complicated than the rest, looking really spiffy. We have a brown cape, as you'll see with the next Mandalorian as well, and we just get the back of his armor as well underneath that suit, or underneath the cape rather. Next up, the green Mandalorian, and I'm just calling them as their color of their helmet. So she does actually have some blue body, and I realized that the girl Mandalorian helmets, or typically the girl Mandalorian helmets, have kind of this pinched visor, whereas the male Mandalorian helmets have this kind of more straight visor. And you can kind of tell because the kind of pinched visor has a kind of feminine eye look to it, and looks pretty cool. And I'm glad that we got the different variants of the helmets, and you can just kind of pretend that these Mandalorians are all guys or whatever you want. And this looks really nice, great front print, really nice helmet print. We also have the antenna there, a brown cape with some little brown gloves there, and then you flip that up and you just have the back of their armor, looking really cool. And with that said, let's go on to the overview. Overall, I really like this kit. You get 4 exclusive Mandalorians, each with their own colors and prints, and we also get a cool little speeder and a nice little rocky side build. Now, if you guys want one of these, be sure to check out the link in the description below. Helps out you get this awesome little kit, and it helps out the channel as well, so be sure to check that out. Remember to like, subscribe, click that bell so you never miss a video, and check out this Star Wars playlist, and this is our previous video that we just posted. Now, I'll see you next time on Luclear Fusion.